Hey guys, so a few days ago, Ben made a video talking about this internet culture and how it's so toxic, and it's important to just be able to detach yourself. And I think most of you guys have already done that, and I've finally done that. I don't have Twitter anymore. I'm just sometimes on Instagram and Facebook, and those aren't really that bad. I'm never on Reddit unless I'm posting like music or something. But I was talking with a friend last night about a type of content creator that we both despised, and I think today, after our conversation today, I was thinking about how much this type of content creator is affecting the online sphere in a negative way. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will try to call bull on this, but hear me out. And because to be totally frank, I'm about to talk about someone whose content I haven't seen. I haven't seen a single video that this person has made, but just I know what kind of video they make, and just judging solely based on their the medium of which they upload, the genre of content they create, I've already formed an opinion, and I think it's correct. So YouTube went from a place that people can, this is why I have an issue with the term creators, because most of these people aren't actually creating anything. Like, this video is just me talking. I'm not creating anything. I'm just kind of blowing steam, which I do now and again, but the stuff that I'm more proud of and the stuff that I wish people would actually look at is, our skits, my music, books, film, things that are actually of any kind of substance and value. However, the big conundrum here, and I think part of Ben's issue, is that people don't really care about that stuff anymore. People gravitate en masse to people talking crap, right? I mean, that's what we want to see. And there are a lot of people like Justin Wang, who's, I think his first video that blew him up was basically crapping on Ethan Klein, which is hilarious because Ethan's a person whose content is largely stolen as well. So it's like, this schmuck crapping on another schmuck, and it's just this gross cycle of nothing. I know Justin Wang's like a metal musician, but he's really not good. I don't like that guy. The one that I really want, there was just an aside, the guy who I really despise, and because everyone seems to have this like glowing opinion of him, is Moist Critical. Guy does nothing. He does nothing. He does nothing. He sits in his room and he has takes. That's all he does, guys. And it's not helpful or beneficial to really listen in long form or consistently throughout your life to someone who does solely that. What else does this guy do? Like, if you guys can point to anything that this guy has produced, it doesn't have to be music, just anything of value that he's made or that he's done. If you can point me to anything like that, then I will maybe give him a listen. But every time I've seen this guy, it's him sitting in his room talking crap about world events. And I know Ben and I have our podcast and we do that, but we're always trying to get you to, like, hey, check out this vlog, check out this skit, check out this song, check out this book, check out, and what's been really grinding my gears lately about YouTube is that people, again, don't want to see that content. We just made that a really great, what I thought was a really funny, smart Oblivion sketch, and I really busted my butt trying to get it to crack 10,000 views. And now I'm coming out with some music that I think is really good music. And the most recent song that I released, it's sitting at 499 views. It's been out a week. And then again, I can sit here, or Moist Critical can sit in his gamer dungeon and just, look at the news and be like, I don't really like that. And it's going to get tons of views. And so it's kind of your fault, guys. It's your fault for giving all this stuff viewership. Why can't you just look at the news and form your own opinion, okay? Now, I know Ben and I do the news, but we also talk about a lot of other things in the podcast, a lot of other random things that are just going on in our personal lives. And again, the podcast is just sort of trying to help form a community. The podcast is sort of like a peripheral thing. What we really want to be doing is the skits and all that. Now it's hard because we both have jobs and sort of pressing lives at times, but I never want to become the guy that just sits and talks crap. Like that's the worst possible thing to become. And I despise Moist Critical and anyone else who does that just for the fact that they're doing just that. There's really something genuinely despicable about, again, just sort of, and there's a lot of other guys who do this. So there's like Asmongold or whatever, who I don't think does anything. All these guys, like, they play games and then they just talk crap. And Dream is another guy who used to, he's like way more into politics now, but he started just playing games and he just decided to like talk crap politically. And those are his two things. And whenever I make a judgment, I make sure that I can back it up. And I also feel okay making judgment calls about other creative things, because you can come back and judge my stuff. Like I have books on Amazon you can read and other places. We have a lot of skits, a lot of film that you can sit and judge. I have obviously a ton of music that you can sit and judge for yourself. And I implore you to go check all that stuff out, and you can say whatever you like about it, you know. The view is a view, whether you hated it or not. I would appreciate if we did sort of direct the conversation to those things. But when you are there's a Thomas Sowell quote. I've been reading a lot of him lately, and I'm gonna really butcher it right now. But essentially, he said we live in a society now, in a culture that it demonizes those who produce and rewards those who essentially do nothing. So, and I've said this before. I've said this in probably on podcasts and stuff. It's a safety zone to just sit there and judge, right? You're in a safe space, right? Literally. Moist Critical is in a safe space, sitting in his room, just like critiquing everything and producing nothing. You're putting yourself on the line if you are actually like, you know, like, hey, here's something I created with, you know, my talent. I made it from the bottom of my heart. Here you go. That's a tough thing to do. It's a scary thing to do, and it's sometimes it's tough for seasoned criticism on that stuff. But it's obviously that's part of the game, and you got to be able to do that. You got to be able to take it. And I'm at a point in my life where I would rather, if I had to decide between like zero criticism or 100% bad criticism, I'd take the 100% bad criticism, because that means that at least people are like digesting the stuff that I'm making. And it's not really hypocritical for me to say this anyway. I feel like that's the one thing people are going to come back and say, like, oh, I'm sure, you know, you watch opinion pieces and you do this and that. I really don't. There's very little YouTube I actually watch. I mainly watch like Impractical Jokers clips, and then there's a couple like spooky channels I watch. I watch like Nick Crowley and all that, because that kind of stuff is fun, cozy before bedtime. It's really all I watch. And I've been reading a lot lately, and I listen to audiobooks, and I listen to a lot of music. I don't know. I guess my point here is like try to actually go out, discover things that people are actually making for you, making for the world. Try to digest those things, and instead of like jerking to the opinion of some bum in his bedroom, try to use your own brain. I have no idea what kind of opinions this guy has. He must have, you know, stellar takes. I hate all that stuff. Like you base a whole person's personality and worth based off the quality of their takes. Like, are we seriously that? Are things that bad that that's like the whole of a person? If whether or not you have good or bad takes, it's like it's so sickening. It's sickening, guys. Like, no, produce something, make something, do something of value. Having an opinion of something in and of itself is not valuable. Okay. So start using your brain. Stop watching Moist Critical and anyone who does that sort of a thing. Go listen to my music. Watch me and Ben's skits. And I don't know. If you're a creative person, maybe create something of your own that you think has value. That's literally it. Like, it's so clear to me that this is why there's no substance on the internet. It's all just opinions, and the substance has been whittling away over the years. And again, as I said at the beginning of this video, YouTube used to be a very creatively charged place, and there was a lot of cool creative stuff happening on there, whether or not you thought it was dumb or not. At least people were creating things. There were a lot more skits. There's a lot more music. There was a lot of like comedy music, which really isn't my thing, but still it was like creative and inventive and fun. Now it's this snake eating itself. It's Moist Critical talking crap about Justin Wang, who's talking crap about Ethan Klein, who's like stealing content from Sam Hyde. It's like, you know, it's so sad. It's so sad. And speaking of, Sam Hyde video popped up on my phone the other day, and I tried to watch it, and it was also depressing. It was him just talking crap about someone else. And I think after World Peace got canceled, and I feel for him that he totally got gypped, but I think since then, his creative spirit got totally snuffed. And now it's over for him in that regard. But keep creating, keep trying to produce something, give something to the internet, give something to the internet. A work, a craft, a completed something. Don't just give opinions all the time. And again, I feel okay giving my opinions sometimes because 70 to 80% of the stuff I do put on the internet is actual content. So I think it's okay every once in a while to sit back and talk crap, and that's what it is, you know? I'm not thinking it's anything beyond that. But a lot of these YouTubers, 100% of the time, their whole thing is just talking crap. And the fact that you guys are allowing them to make a fortune off of that is really enraging.